Hello everyone, welcome to Life and Science with S.H. Shan. So if you do like the videos, please do subscribe, like and comment to my channel. Hello everyone. So the topic that I've chosen today is evolution. So the first thing that comes in evolution is origin of life. Origin, what that the word origin means? It means initial or start, that is origin of life, the start of life or initial process of life. Where did our life actually start from? So when you go to that, so you have three types of groups, and those three types of groups are compartmentalization, replication, and metabolism. Now talking about the compartmentalization, with the word compartmentalization itself, it says it's compartments. Yes, where all the components are held together and it is used to distinguish the environment. So that's compartmentalization. Next is replication, to replicate. In order with replication, it's like a sharing or transmission of information to the progeny. Like in order of replication, it replicates plus the information is being shared. Last is metabolism. With the word metabolism, there is some kind of thing which is involved with energy. Yes, this is to capture the energy from the material sources and also staying away from thermodynamic equilibrium. And life occurred 3.8 billion years ago. So then comes the theories of evolution, which has three types: creationism, theories of abiogenesis, and theories of biogenesis. The first is creationism. In this theory, it says that life just happened in the matter of 6 days. Within these 6 days, the life just occurred. It just happened without any kind of reactions or any kind of theories or any extraordinary work. Life just happened. The next is the theory of abiogenesis. So in this theory, there are three types. So just always remember, guys, when it comes to experiments, you need not by heart. Trust me, if any chapter or anything that has experiments, please do not skip. Because theories you need to mug up and just try to understand. But experiments, these are the easiest thing ever. You just have to know the experiment and you just get it. That's it. So that's where this chapter comes from. So talking about the theory of abiogenesis, there are three types: Francisco Redi experiment, Louis Pasteur's experiment, and Lazzaro Spallanzani's experiment. Next is the theory of biogenesis. Even this has three types. The first one is cosmozoic theory. Next is the theory of eternity life, and the last is the catastrophism theory. The theory of abiogenesis, first one, Francisco Redi theory. So doing these experiments or looking at these experiments, you can easily get through all the content. In this experiment, just imagine there are just three jars with the meat kept inside it. One is open, one is closed, and other one is just covered with help of cloth. Now what do you see? The container with the meat open, you can see few new kinds of insects, of bees just flying around. And number two, it's closed. No air at all. So you cannot see anything. Third, the covered one. You can find some bees or insects sitting just right on top of the cloth. So what does this experiment say? This experiment says that life is not spontaneous. It's not spontaneous. Lazzaro Spallanzani experiment. Now this experiment is also one of the easiest. You just have to take 2 bottles filled with the vegetable broth in it. So as you can see, there are few cells present before heating it up. Now you need to close the bottle and heat it up until it boils for a few minutes. Then close the bottle and keep it just like that. and then see you have no cells in it. At the same time, when you boil this bottle for a very long time, the same thing happens. Now, what does this experiment says? Yes, even this experiment proves that life isn't spontaneous. Life cannot be made in just a fraction of seconds or a matter of seconds. It just does not happen just like that. It takes time. You need time to create a life. It cannot be quick. It cannot be spontaneous. So here's another experiment, Louis Pasteur's experiment. Microbiologist, pasteurization. This is what he's known most for. So now with this experiment, they concluded saying that yes, life cannot be spontaneous. So he took 3 swan neck flasks. You know why it is called as a swan neck flask? Because the flask almost looks like moreover it looks like a swan. So that's why it's a swan neck flask. And even the experiment is said to be a swan neck flask experiment. Now this flask is filled with a vegetable broth or medium, and there are 3 nozzles you can see. The first nozzle is closed and the next nozzle just gonna cut a little bit so there's a little air contact to it, and the third one is gonna cut a little more so that there is a complete air contact. Now what do you observe? The first one, which is closed, there is like no kind of cell seen, whereas the second one you can find cells since there's air contact into it, since a little bit, and the third one it's completely open, so you can find many cells into it. So yes, this experiment also proves that life cannot be spontaneous. And did you notice one thing when there's 3 flasks? When there is an air contact, there are production of cells, and when the flask was closed, you find no cells. So that's kind of interesting, right? So let's go to the next. So here you have the theory of biogenesis. Even though these theories have no experiments to be proved, but what they say is the first one, the cosmozoic theory. The cosmozoic theory says that life wasn't originated on Earth for the first time. It was originated somewhere else, in some other place, and through micromolecules or something like that, it somehow existed on Earth. So life did not first exist on Earth. That's what this theory says. Next is the theory of eternity life. This theory says life just begun. It has no beginning, it has no end, it just happened. Life has no reactions, no theories, nothing. It just happened. And next is the theory of catastrophism. In this theory, you must have heard a saying say that life starts or it revolves from where it stopped already. That's what this theory says. This theory says that life ends and again begins. There is no stop. It just ends, it begins. There is no such creation that was first. It just happened. So that's theory of biogenesis. This is one of the most important experiment, Miller's and Urey's experiment. So in this experiment, let me teach you in a very simple way. So the whole experiment revolves around methane, ammonia, water, hydrogen, electric current. So now, as you can see in the picture, there is a flask, a 5-liter flask which consists of a condenser and a tungsten electrode, which is filled with water. And now in this flask, we're going to add methane, ammonia, hydrogen and water with some electric current to it, and just allow it for a few days. And what do you observe? You observe certain compounds like amino acid and molecules all being present, everything just coming out. You can see the presence of that certain amino acid like aspartic acid, glutamic acid, beta-alanine, alanine, and many other compounds like urea, and all these things being formed. That's what this experiment says. See, I've explained this experiment in very simple way. So all the best, people. That's all for today. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and if you have any doubts, please do comment.